All right, guys, weekly wrap up Sunday, September 9th, 2018. Let's look at the pairs that I forecasted to trade over the course of last week. We've got about 12 symbols here. All right. We're going to start with the buy lows. First was GA. We were looking to buy off of the 1.78 to 1.79 level. All right. Sure enough, we did get there. We touched that weekly pivot, made it down to about here, past the 1.78. Our buy trigger was right here, open of this bar. All right, put the stop here, never hit the stop. Okay, maybe scale out here. Re-entry following this bar here. Maybe scale out here, possibly re-entry, another re-entry here. I'm sure some of you probably still have this open. I scaled out following this bar, but do still have some open. Scaled out most of it though. All right, so that was a great trade. All right, next was GC. All right. We were hoping it would get down to the 1.68, but either way, we were looking to buy. All right, it touched that 1.68. All right, got the we had a buy trigger right here, so enter here, stop here, never hit the stop. Kind of the same thing. All right, maybe really this shouldn't have gotten any of you out because once again this was the stop. This was a after this big green bar, possible scale in. All right, this is probably what got most of you out, was this orange bar here. All right, and then one final possible re-entry, but a little late. All right, but still, lots of good opportunities. Another great trade with GC. Okay, GJ is next at 1.43. All right. Yes, we got down to, or sorry, 143. Did I say 1.43? 143, looking to buy. Had our buy trigger here, entered here, stop here, which was never hit over the course of the week, despite quite a lot of chop. So lots of opportunities to catch some pips, even on this first little bar here, but again, on this huge bar, anytime here, anytime here. Okay, lots of good opportunities. Stop was not hit. All right, next, GN at 1.94. All right. Now, it did not get down to 1.94, but that doesn't matter. We were hoping it would get down to the level, but we were just looking to buy at the nearest trigger, hoping it would get down to 1.94, but it didn't. But either way, had our trigger here and bought, did not hit stop, and just roll with it. All right. Entry here, so you wouldn't want to have exited here because it didn't hit the stop. All right, this is just kind of a force out, but stop was not hit. Re-entry possibility following this bar here, and many of you might have this trade still open, kind of like the GA trade. All right, just another great trade. All right, actually, as a matter of fact, all of the trades that were forecasted were in profit this week, not a single losing trade. Okay, you guys can look back to the forecast video. All the levels that I mentioned there, all of the biases, buy low or sell high, I'm following all of those as I did over the course of the week. And yeah, you guys can just look back at the forecast video and then look at this if you want to compare. But all of the trades were in profit this week that I forecasted. So great week all around. After GN, we have GU. All right. GU. We've got 1.285 to 1.29. Got down, we probed at 1.285. All right. This was a possible buy trigger, but it had low volt. The wave trend was flat, as was the color, very doji-ish. Not a true buy signal. All right. As you can see, volatility was completely dead. And then up until this huge green bar here, of course, and that was our buy trigger, okay? And a very wide stop down here, which of course was not hit. And just another good trade. Okay, and even for some of you, if you did enter here, and if that ended up being stopped out, it was made up for and then some with this move. All right, especially with this huge bull spike up into that resistance. All right, past that 1.3. All right. Following GU, we have the Aussie 200, which I was originally intended to be a hedge. Okay, I had said to look to buy low, hoping to hedge the other shorts with the Aussie, but there was no reason to. We did not get any buy signals. In fact, it ended up being quite clearly a short position. Really, this ping par at the open was a sell trigger. So I immediately ended up going against my forecast, which is fine. But yeah, didn't the only like pseudo buy trigger, I suppose, could have been after this bar, but it was still too late. Too many bars into the too many bars once the wave trend changed color. So I like to enter on the first or second bar after. So yeah, the buy here was never triggered. All right, but a great short. But I'm not going to get into that because I didn't forecast the short. All right, anyway, moving on. USD CNH. All right. We're hoping it would get to the 6.83 for a buy, which of course it did. Right about here, just past that weekly pivot, buy trigger following this blue bar here. Okay, stop here was never hit, so plenty of opportunities to catch pips. Just a lot of chop, but plenty of opportunities. All right, moving on to USD HUF. All right. This was 279 to 280. Okay, we didn't get down there at the beginning of the week, but we did get a buy trigger following this bright blue bar here. So some opportunities here. All right. Possibly stopped out or scratched, but I mean there was lots of opportunity if you set your stop to break even plus X at whatever your comfort zone was. Had a nice short position here. We're not going to get into that, but a nice buy opportunity there the first half of the week. All right. Next, USD SGD, Singapore dollar. Okay. All right, here we were hoping it'd get to 1.368, which it did not get to. It did not get to that weekly pivot, but we nonetheless had a buy trigger following this bright blue bar here. Stop here was not hit. This was a great trade. All right. I don't really think there's too much more to say about it. All right, so we're going to move on to our sell high positions. All right, over the course of the week, starting with AJ. AJ hoping it would get to 80.5, which it did. It wicked it. All right, we had the potential short trigger following this bar. All right, a low volatility bar. Okay, might have been whipped out, might have been stop hunted at that first entry point, but then had another entry following this bar right here. Place the stop here, never hit, turned into a great trade. If you did get whipped out, you more than doubled, your losses were more than doubled in profit with this. There were no push outs, just a clean short, just riding it. I'm sure a lot of you probably have this still open. Moving on to NJ. All right, we were looking at 74, didn't get there. Nonetheless, had a short trigger following this bright pink bar here. Enter here, wide stop here. Lots of opportunity here. Would probably be a good idea to have close this trade at the end of the week as we're getting into some support here. But lots of pips to be made with this one. There was buy opportunity here, not going to get into it. But yeah, a nice short just following that probe of the 73.5. All right, and our last one is NU. Okay. All right, we were looking at 0.665. Did not get there, like NJ. But nonetheless, had a really nice little mini pullback here just to kind of validate a short trigger, despite the low volatility bar. You know, it could have put a tight stop just beyond, just right here, or even here if you wanted a wider one. But just a really nice miniature pullback followed by a sell trigger, and then just that really nice huge bear bar. Okay, so opportunity there, and then following this buy opportunity, another sell. Following this red bar here, stop here, and just very, very nice. Some of you might be holding it, but we are getting into a little bit of support, but just another really nice trade. Okay, so that'll do it. All of the trades this week were in profit. There was a couple situations of possibly being whipped out or a scratch break-even trade, which was then made up for later in the week, just kind of taking the same bias, same direction, more than being made up for. But yeah, really every forecasted position trade was in profit. The only one that was not activated was the Aussie 200 hedge, but that was an amazing short trade. It just wasn't forecasted. But yeah, that'll do it for this week. I'm gonna get to the forecast for this next week, starting on September 9th. All right. Hope you guys had a great week. Let me just say that this isn't meant to be an educational video. This is just a wrap up of the forecast that I made last week. If you guys are interested in education or have just any other questions, just DM me on Instagram at instagram.com/tradewavefx. I check my DMs on there. I do not check my messages here on YouTube, so message me on Instagram. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best this upcoming week. I hope you guys had a great week last week. Hope it's great this week. And yeah, happy pips, guys.